What's it going to feel like to know that that stage of my life is truly coming to an end? I think it's going to feel a little bit shocking.
1 year from now, my youngest child will graduate from high school. So now what? Hi everyone, I'm Megan. I'm an author and a mom of 5 living in Michigan. And next summer, I'll turn 50, the same year my youngest child, my only daughter, becomes an adult. I have been technically moving toward the empty nest for a decade now, but after returning home from a road trip with my youngest, I'm realizing this transition may be bigger than I thought. So in this video, I want to talk about what happens when nearly 30 years of motherhood starts giving way to whatever comes next.
Hey there, friends. Good to see you. It has been a few weeks since I have done a video. It's been a really busy beginning to the summer, and I'm really just starting to settle in after being on the road for a 2-week road trip with my daughter, Clara, who is 17 and just finished her junior year of high school. And I think one of the things I'm realizing right now is even though my transition to being an empty nester has been very slow and gradual. My oldest son is 28. He graduated high school 10 years ago. So I have been on this trajectory to the nest emptying out, so to speak, for 10 years. And I thought because I had this long off ramp that maybe I'd have it more figured out. But I think what I'm realizing is it's allowed me to kind of live in this limbo state where things have changed, but I'm not so sure it's really sunk in with me yet. I'm not sure I have really recognized how different this is going to look, not just because I won't have as many people around, but because I won't have to do things the way I have for so much of my life, far more of my life with children than without. I was 20 when I had my oldest, and I'm almost 49 now. So much of my life has been spent with the limitations, or I should say the constraints of motherhood sort of shaping what I do. And I'm not complaining about that. It's been great for me. I think creativity loves constraints. I think that I have been able to build a lot of sense of freedom within the life that I've had that has actually been quite constrained because I've had all these kids to take care of. There's been a lot of creativity I've been able to build into that, and it doesn't really feel like it's been a huge sacrifice, although of course I know it has been. Now it's been tiptoeing toward this for a long time, but very soon, literally all of my kids will be adults. I've really felt a shift in the last year or so over how I plan meals or how I approach making decisions down the road without having to always think about, well, who's going to need me around? Because the fact is people just don't need me around the same way that they used to. And it's kind of interesting to me that the minute my kids started leaving the nest in earnest, I went and got myself chickens. Maybe because on some level, I just couldn't help being in some way needed or anchored. I feel anchored to this place because I have now these birds, and now I have ducks, and I have a garden, and all of these things. And I think feeling anchored is fantastic. I actually think as human beings, we thrive on that. We need to feel like some being needs us. And so it's like at this stage now, figuring out how to strike that balance between setting up my life so that I'm rooted and anchored and I feel needed, but also giving myself space to spread my wings a little bit and see what's possible. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a space where I'm only there because that's where I happened to be when the last of my kids left the house. And I thought, this works. And at the same time, I also know that living a quieter life has been great for me, for my nervous system, for my creativity, all of those things. I think this is definitely going to be a recurring theme in the next year or so, just kind of ramping up to this truly empty nest life, because at that point, I will have been a mom for nearly 30 years. And what is that going to feel like to know that that stage of my life is really coming to an end? I think it's going to feel a little bit shocking, even though I have been leading up to it for so long. But I do feel like having this empty nest transition right in front of me where I can really just see it coming is giving my thoughts a lot of clarity and helping me kind of give some of my ideas some focus and shape. It's kind of funny to me that I wrote my book, The Last Parenting Book You'll Ever Read, How We Let Our Kids Go and Embrace What's Next. Let's see, I wrote that 2 years ago now. So as I was writing it, I had just dropped Owen off at college, and Clara was just about to start her sophomore year of high school. And so looking back at that now, I can see how writing that book helped me to work through some stuff a little earlier than I might have, helped me to maybe sidestep a few blocks I may otherwise have found myself in. But no matter what, the only way out is through, and I'm working through this just like everybody else. So if this is a topic that intrigues you, I hope you will walk this journey with me for the next year. I am almost 49. And so in 1 year, I will be at the half-century mark, and that will be the same year that my little baby girl will become an adult, and this stage of my life will be behind me forever. And that is a big deal. And I really think I'm gonna need to talk about it with all of you.